Hi everyone, this is the Game Design Raccoon. My name is Arthur, and on this channel I talk game design, game tinkering, and fan-made content for Marvel Champions and other games. Today is all about Nick Fury. Fantasy Flight Games recently teased Nick Fury as a new hero for Marvel Champions, releasing him with Maria Hill in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. expansion, but there is a mystery. 6 cards are still missing from his hero kit. In this video, I'll share how I designed these missing cards and imagine what his kit might look like, staying as close as possible to his gameplay concept. I'll also explain why I think this card fit Nick Fury's playstyle and theme. Let's start with Nick Fury's hero design. I've gathered them all in one document. Fury comes with a unique mechanic, a suit form upgrade that lets him swap between stealth and assault modes. Think of stealth as his infiltration mode, where enemies schemes instead of attacking him, and assault, that's when Fury flips the table and delivers devastating surprise attacks everywhere. Mechanically, Fury adds threat onto his suit form. This represents the stealthiness he's building up. He can spend that threat when attacking to unleash powerful burst damage. Many of his cards interact with these suit forms, allowing him to shift between stealth and assault or manage threat for tactical advantages. As a reminder, you can see that in Alter Ego he is able to shift to stealth mode, while in hero form he is able to add threat to his stealth form when he thwarts. The rest of his kit for now is composed of events and upgrades. He has 3 plus 1, maybe 2 attack events and 2 thwart events. Maybe 3 if they tricked us with the numbers at the bottom of the cards, but I don't think so. He also has 3 upgrades, 1 resource generator, 1 preparation card that discards when resolving his effects, and the secret agent title that move 1 threat from the main to your suit form upgrade when you resolve a preparation card. Well, from this we can extract his different strengths and weaknesses and some opportunities. Well, let's start with his strength. He's tanky. He has 10 hit points, a recovery of 4, a stealth form to avoid damage. He has high burst attacks, 4, probably 5 attack events, up to 6 threat on assault form, sometimes more, so he can dish out a lot of damage because when you remove 1 threat from your assault upgrade, you do 1 more damage on this attack. It's easy to go back to stealth form. It's also easy to add threat on stealth or assault upgrades because you can just basic thwart to add 1. You can absorb 1 per enemy scheming activation. The thwart value of minions defeated with the concentrated fire event is added to your suit form. You add 2 with covered surveillance if you're in stealth form, and you move 1 to hit per preparation effects resolved with your secret agent title. As per the negative aspects, he adds a lot of threat, very risky in scenarios with low threshold or big scheming potential like Mr. Sinister, Thanos, Ultron with his drones, because they will scheme while you're still in hero form. You can get stuck in stealth form if you can't attack, like if you didn't draw an attack even this turn and you're exhausted, you're stunned, or you have to basic thwart elsewhere, for examples. It's usually harder to go to assault with what we saw in his kit. Even though you have a lot of attack events, he has very limited thwarting power, or at least not enough to compensate for the villain scheming rather often. He has not enough preparation upgrades to make Secret Agent worth it for now. Foreshadowing. As per opportunities, we can clearly see there are resources printed on the stealth and or assault cards. Why is that? Probably something in his kit, right? They're not really an opportunity, but there is only 1 card before the events, so this is probably an ally, or maybe a side scheme. And there are probably more preparation cards at the end, because Secret Agent would be not so great and you would have to include a lot of preparation in his kit. Well, at least this is how I imagine he will play with only the cards they revealed. I hope nobody disagrees too much. So how do we figure out what's missing? We use the numbering of the card at the bottom. Villain Fury did the work for us in his analysis. Here is what we know. 1 card is missing before the event section. This could be an ally, a side scheme, or even another event. And 4 cards are missing after the events. These are most likely supports or upgrades. With this info, I started designing cards that fit Fury's strengths and weaknesses while expanding on his suit form mechanic and super spy theme. I'll try to explain the thought process behind each one and how it complements Fury's hero kit. First card most likely will be an ally. I thought about Maria or Agent Coulson, of course, but I wanted to evoke a more James Bondy figure that doesn't need no ally. I even thought about giving him bonuses if he does not control an ally at some point, with a support maybe or an upgrade, but I figured I might go for another side scheme instead to give the choice to the player, because I wanted to create some kind of shield, no pun intended, on the main scheme to prevent losing too easily to scheming. I chose to make card number 9 another copy of Spray Fire, and ran the 4 following cards as upgrades, mainly preparation and tech upgrades to trigger the secret agent ability, move 1 threat from the scheme to your suit form upgrade when you trigger a preparation card, and tech because of the new Leo Fitz ally. I originally wanted to create a support called S.H.I.E.L.D HQ or something, but it would have been roughly the same effect as Leo Fitz, so I went all in into the preparation gimmick. Then I asked my good friend ChatGPT for some Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D lore to gather ideas for some gadgets or pieces of tech Nick might use on missions. Apparently in the comics he uses, well, the watch and the eye patch camera, but also cybernetics implants, holomasks to camouflage, energetic shields, EMP charges, some transmitters and some drones. Lastly, I used the last upgrade slot to give him a weapon so he can attack every turn and change to assault suit form whenever he wants, because he needs an attack to change form. Here are the final designs in order. Card number 2, because he has 16 and the first is his suit form upgrade. So card number 2 is Decoy Operation. It costs 2, this is a player side scheme, victory 0, forced interrupt. When any amount of threat would be placed on the main scheme, place it here instead. Then if there are 7 or more threats on Decoy Operations, add it to the victory display. It enters play with 1 threat on it, and it can go up to 6 while staying into play. And if it goes to 7 or higher, it goes into the victory display and you lose it, but it prevented a whole activation maybe. I know I already used the player side scheme instead of an ally trick in my Maria Hill cards video. I link it somewhere if you haven't seen it. Plus, if she releases with 2 allies, like I said, I found it more balanced to give Nick no ally. But I like the twisted use of a player side scheme here. It acts as a similar additional medium threshold of 7 main scheme. You can treat it almost like a main scheme and thwart it to 1 every turn, not 0, otherwise it goes into the victory display, you have to be careful. It also is a failsafe in case Nick Fury's plan A goes south. You can leave it at 6 threat and wait for a big scheming activation so the extra threat is lost. It's also a buffer to absorb threat while you take down the actual main scheme with your very few thwart events. It's like paying 2 or 3 effective resources with the card itself to thwart for 6+. It can only be used once per game though, but it's still a pretty good deal and hopefully a smart way to make his main mechanic works even better. For upgrades 10 to 12, I chose to ignore defensive pieces of tech like energetic shields, healing serum or cyber implants, because Nick is already pretty tanky as I said. Instead I went for EMP grenades, a surveillance drone and a holomask. EMP grenades are a 2-cost upgrades. Interrupt. When an enemy activates against you, discard EMP grenades, cancel the activation. Simple but very effective. This is a preparation tech card and it makes a zoom noise. This is not a hero interrupt as I first designed it, but it has to be against you, so you need to think a little bit more about it in multiplayer. The objective is to prevent a scheming activation against you because of your stealth upgrade, but it can be an attack in a pinch. Next up, we have surveillance drone. This is a 0-cost upgrade. Preparation, take, again, interrupt. When a boost card is given face down to an enemy, or when an encounter card is dealt to a player, discard surveillance drone, look at the top 3 cards of the encounter deck and discard any number of those. It could have been a more classic grappling hook from Black Widow or a Lucky and Good or even Lucky Break from Domino, depending on the cost, but I went for a more original effect just to showcase the idea and make it versatile but still very balanced in my opinion. It is very useful in multiplayer or solo, and as a note, it cannot be repurposed. Next is the Holomask. 2-cost upgrade, once again, preparation, tech, response, thought. When you change to stealth suit form, discard a Holomask and remove all threat from your suit form upgrade. Remove an equal amount of threat from scheme. So this is 2 costs, and you remove 1 to 6, sometimes even more, threat in exchange for the threat on your upgrade. Again, not a hero-only response, so bear in mind you can trigger it in Alter Ego, but as a S.H.I.E.L.D spy character, I find it okay to give him thwarting power in Alter Ego, like Marvel Champions' actual designers tend to do, see Black Widow and Gambit for instance. So with Holomask, flip to Alter, use your Alter Ego ability to go stealth, and trigger Holomask to remove maybe 6 threats to make your trip to Alter Ego safer. Do not trigger secret agents though, as it is a hero response only. And finally, the Prototype Blaster. This is a 2-cost upgrade, a weapon, tech, hero action, attack. Exhaust Prototype Blaster, you may spend 1 resource. Deal 0 damage to an enemy, this attack gains ranged. If you spend a science resource, confuse that enemy if it is a minion. If you spend a physical resource, stun that enemy if it is a minion. If you spend an energy resource, this attack gains piercing. So this is a gun to make it easy to flip to assault mode. Zero damage is fun because it encourages you to sync your threat and your assault upgrade on it, like the Royal Flush Gambit event. Plus, it is still an attack that ignores retaliates, so you can do it every turn if you want, even though you're making zero damage. It can also be piercing for one resource. You still remove tough status cards with zero damage, much like you can still confuse or stun an enemy with a science or physical resource. The most useful effect may be to confuse a minion and go to stealth form more often. Luckily, you have an easy access to the science resource with your watch on the left. Anyway, for 3 effective resources, you can make damageless attacks. But then, it gets better and better while being very versatile. Proud of this one. I chose to not use the resources on his suit form upgrades anywhere because he already has the watch to generate resources, and because I couldn't find an interesting effect with this element of design. Even if you had to spend that kind of resource instead of generating it, maybe the actual kit will make better use of it? I don't know. By the way, which card do you think I could have had? Or which one is your favorite? Just throw something in the comments to make this video more visible. Before I wrap up, here's something for you. Check the description for the link to those 5 custom cards, totally free, and maybe try Nick Fury early. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out my other Marvel Champions content, hit that like button, subscribe for more game design goodness with the bell, and share your thoughts in the comments. Happy New Year and happy gaming!
Hi, Nick Fury here. I fully endorse this channel. I watch it all the time while waiting for my targets during missions. So please, subscribe and help me get more videos to watch. After all, they don't call it Fury's Watch for nothing.
See what I did? Did anyone see that?